Okay, in this video we're going to be reading through the notes together before you go on to do some practice questions for today's lesson. So we're looking at numeric and word forms today. Recognizing and writing word forms of numbers is important in some workplace situations and when writing checks. Numbers can be represented in two ways. So in numeric form, which is when we just write the numbers down, and in word form, which is when we spell each word out. So 10, 25, and 179 from this example here above. Numbers are written in words by identifying where each number is located in the place value chart, starting from left to right. Our place value chart is this. Okay, this is our place value chart where we can write out each digit in the place value that it belongs to. We've got the ones place, the tens, the hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Then we get into the millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, and even up to 1 billion. Okay, so that is the oops, on the wrong screen there. That is the place value chart. Okay, so remember, when we're spelling these words, we place a hyphen, okay, between the tens and the ones place value. So that's basically numbers that are from 20 something all the way up to 99. Okay, so example 24, we put a dash between that, and here we have 4,079. So the last part, the 79, we're going to put that hyphen between when we're writing those down. All right. So let's look at some examples. Look at the following numeric word forms. We've got 1,400. When we write that out, actually, let's do this. So I'm going to change the colors here. So we have 1,400. And when we write that out, we're going to write 1,400. Okay, we can kind of think of those in like sets of 3 numbers. So we've got the hundreds here. Now we're into the thousands place. So we're going to say 1,000. Then we write 400. Okay, next example, we've got 23,756. So when we write this out, we've got 23, remember the hyphen, because it's a number that's between 20 something and 99. 23,756. And again, that hyphen between 50 and 6, because that's just how we spell the numbers from 20 something to 99. Next example, we've got 45,921. Okay, so we spell that 45,000, the hyphen here, 921. Again, the hyphen between 21 and 21. Second last example. 762,367. Okay, so here we spell it out, 762,367. Okay, again, I got my hyphen there. Last example. Now we're into the millions. 3,436,188. So we've got 3,436,188. Okay. All right, so we can look at those numbers as well here in the place value chart. Okay, so here's the place value chart. So if we were to write out 1,400, we have the 1 in the thousands place, we've got the 4 in the hundreds place, and the zeros in the tens and the ones place. They hold the tens and ones place, okay? Next, 23,000. So if we got 23,000, we've got we have 10,000 two times, so we've got 20,000, and we have 3,000, so 23,756, and so on. I'm going to leave those for you to look over as well on your own time. I think you kind of get the gist. Okay, so that's how we fill out a place value chart. And let's look at a few kind of word problems. We've got the music and recording industry sell millions of dollars worth of music CDs each year. Just imagine the sales they will have over a 10-year period and the large numbers they will work with. So CDs aren't really a thing these days. It's more streaming and online, but still there are figures that come in for the different impressions and views that people have on their songs online on Spotify and so on. So it still would be a similar situation looking at these large numbers when we're considering the amount of views someone would have on a song of theirs, a hit song. So here we have the numbers below have been placed in the place value chart. 35,000 as an example, 72,500,000. We've got, what do we have here? 8,325,400,000. Big number. And look at that, 675 billion. Okay, that's going to be a best-selling artist for sure. So again, we've got the numbers here in order from smallest to biggest, placed into the place value chart. And then here are examples of those same words, all written out in what did we call it? Let's remember. In word form. So we have numeric form and word form. Okay, so here we have these numbers, and the way we say them is we would write them in English. We would write them out here. So 35,000, 460,950, and so on. So again, I'll leave that for you to look over in your note package. You can look at those and make sure that this is the way that you would write it if you needed to, because in a moment you will need to. So now here's the practice portion. So this is where you're going to do your work. So for today's lesson, you are going to work on the rest of the pages. So we've got practice now for numeric word forms. Here we've got, you're going to be filling in the missing numbers here where we've gotten the word form here. And then where there's a number, you're going to be filling in and writing the number in words. Okay, so there's a mix in that chart. The next one, they're all written out for you. You're just going to fill in the numbers. And in this one, it's going to take a little more work because you've got a bunch of numbers here, and then you need to write them all out here, okay, in words. So now a practical application. We're going to be practice writing numbers in numeric and word forms by filling in the missing values in these checks. So here is, for example, the word written, and you will write in this space here the actual dollar value. Okay, so for example, maybe we can do this one together. I'll write 1,000. I'm going to use a comma to help separate that. 260. Okay, 260. Sometimes on checks there's a place for dollars and cents. Okay, but if there's no dollars and cents, sometimes you could just put a line like that. Here you could write in the paid to the order of, if you like, to make it a little bit fun. So we've got some different quantities. Maybe you can decide who you're going to write all these checks to. Maybe you want to write, here's one. I think this is the one you want to write to your teacher. Okay, I think this is the one we're going to write to our teacher. And maybe you want to write some checks to your parents. Maybe you want to write some checks to your friends. Maybe you're going to write a check to yourself. How about write yourself a check? Okay, your future self. Okay, so you can put also here the date. This is normally what you would do on a check. You're going to write the date here. So today is September. What is it? Today is September 7th. And it's not 19 anymore. And here we put the year 2025. On a check, sometimes here this is like a memo. You can say what the reason for the check was. You don't have to fill that out. That's optional. And here, most importantly, you're going to sign that. Okay, make sure you sign this one when you write it to your teacher, please. Okay, so that's the next exercise. And here, table below, again, practicing word forms. So these are some bigger ones. The last chart was a little easier. This one's going to be longer, so you might need to write small. Make sure you have space to write those in. Okay. And this is example of some populations of the provinces of Canada. So some interesting facts there for you. You can see our largest population in Ontario and Quebec have the two largest populations. So that's something interesting to note. And number 4, pick 3 of the numbers from each chart and try to say them out loud. Then write out all of the numbers in word form on a separate piece of paper. For this one, I would say for this one, just practice saying those out loud. You can practice writing those on a separate piece of paper. For handing in or for the assignment, I'm just going to be checking this one here to make sure you've written these one in. I think that's enough practice there personally. So these ones you could practice just saying. So here we have, and they're written in the table again, just for you to be able to, oh, this is a second table. These are different set of numbers. Okay, so practice those ones. And then finally, we have practice solving some word problems with numeric and word forms. So here it says to use a place value chart to help you with these large numbers. If that helps you, then please go ahead and do that. If you don't need to, then that's okay. So I'm not going to go through this too much. If you have questions, please ask your teacher. He or she can help you with this. And remember, these will be due the following class. So make sure you have them done to the best of your ability. Your teacher will check them to see that they are complete. And once you do have them complete, you will be given the answer key. You will have access to the answer key with which you will check your own answers. Once you have checked your answers, you're going to make corrections. So anywhere maybe where you had to make a change, you're going to write those, and please write those in a different colored pen so that both your teacher and yourself can see where you needed to make some corrections. That'll help you in the future. So if you write down the things that you needed to fix, you'll see where you need to practice. So please do that in a separate color. These will be handed in and graded at the end of the week. All right, so that's today's lesson. And once you have completed that, whether it's for during class or for the beginning of class on the next day, then you will get the answer key, make your corrections, and at that point, then you will have access to the next lesson.